Hello everybody. Okay, then today again I will continue my work on the 2B from NieR Automata video game based on the artwork from Team Lochner. Then this artist who have been kind enough to allow me to use his artwork. Let me just put again in the chat the link to his ArtStation. No, Doug, they are not all produced by me. I have some of them which are made by me on the background, the gray ones, some of them on the other side. Some of them has been made with ZBrush, some of us not at all. It's just because I like Japanese figurines, and that's the reason why I'm doing Japanese figurines with ZBrush and doing this this stream. Ananas puni, no. I punished ananas. Okay, then again my stream will be only in English. Sorry for my strong French accent. I know that some French people ask me, it would be better to continue in French and English. Unfortunately, it's very difficult for me. Also, this is a link to the playlist of the past videos so far for everything as I did for this streaming, and a last link in the last stream. I don't know if you remember, but some of you asked me about this matte cap I'm using, which is a polyskin matte cap. It will be in ZBrush 4R8. It's already in ZBrush Core. Then it's just for now. If you want it, if you want to have it a little bit earlier. You just need to copy that in the startup materials and you will have it on startup. I have some extra brushes as well. Then it's up to you, and some HDRI images that I need to update because they are JPEG ones and not HDRI. Then just grab them if you want. Yes, yeah, I can't reproduce some sound, and in fact I need to practice more my English, and it's a good opportunity for me. Okay, then this is the current stage of 2B. Today I hope to finish everything which should be as symmetrical as much as possible, to start for the next stream the pose and some accessories. I don't know yet, to be honest. I have a huge migraine today. my head really hurts. Then I don't think I will do a very long stream. I will do my best. Then I really want to move forward, and unfortunately all of these small details, it's what will take quite some time. And let's do my best. Okay, then since the last time I did nothing on the model, I wanted to do some edits, but well, I left them as they are. The only edit I did was to revert the size of the arms and hands. If you remember the last time, before the previous stream, I changed the size, and I don't know, someone told me, it seems to be a bit too small, and then, okay, perhaps it was me. Then I will start to do all of these small details if I'm looking on the artwork for the panties, the small knots here, everything like that, the rows, some details, and I may do some work as well on the shoes, just to refine everything. Why? Because as soon as the pose will be done, it will take, of course, twice the time for everything which is symmetrical. And for the shoes, let's say it will be exactly the same. Perhaps I will do some small modifications, but not that much. Okay, and again, if you have some questions, you can use the stream as usual. You please just mention at polysculpt. It will, like that, just will be more visible for me on the in the chat. Okay, I'm in orthogonal view. Let me switch to perspective, switch to orthogonal view. Okay, and okay, for the panties, if I remember, you have all these small details, and I will start to work on these kind of things like that. I will do after for the apron. I don't know the names, I'm not very sure. For this part, this small details, same for this part as well. And I will try to refine what I just ended during the last stream, the rows, all of that. And after, it should be pretty okay. I know also the shoes as well. Okay. Then, if you remember, for the panties, let me just see, okay. Like that. For almost all my models, these are subdivision levels and not Dynamesh. Again, because I want to have the control on what I want to do. Then for this part, I don't really know exactly what I will do. Perhaps small details on top like that. Let me see. Because I was thinking for some details like that, why not creating an IMM brush and using a curve to going all around, but I think I will just sculpt. Sometimes it's faster to do that way, doing some, just stretching a little bit, some parts. You see, like that. Trying to be symmetrical a little bit. And something which is important to consider is it will be 3D printed. The size won't be kind of big, but not that big. It will be 3D printed, then a lot of details will kind of disappear. Then it's not a big deal if it's not perfect. I'm just trying to, oh, let me just hide, and I need to rename everything because I think I will complain very soon about, I can't see anything. Where is my duck tongue? I don't know how to name that, this part. Okay, and I was on the, okay, I will, I guess, need some more oh, let me remove my for all these kind of parts. Yeah, I will need to smooth that a little bit just after, but at least for now, you see I don't have enough polygons. Then I can, oops, sorry, control this, subdivide once or twice, and you see now it will be a little bit nicer that way. I can smooth a little bit, I can go down if I want. And I don't know if you remember, but I think the last time I said that, oh no, it was to a friend, sorry, that it may be faster to sculpt some parts than trying to figure out a way to just creating some techniques to achieve a result. Let me just finish with this part. You see, it's not perfect, but as soon as I'm subdividing, it starts to be a little bit nicer. Then I can smooth a little bit the surfaces, okay? And I will be able to sculpt more details than trying to, again, like I said, trying to build a brush and trying to do something which will be, of course, way more perfect in terms of result, because I will duplicate a pattern along a curve, but it will be perhaps too perfect. And well, okay, sometimes not too perfect is not the best solution. Okay, I'm looking also at the other side. What I mean by other side is I will just switch to solo mode and looking for the internal parts, because again it will be 3D printed and I need to take care about the thickness of everything like that. I can also hide a part of my model. I will just keep this part visible like that. And let me just push everything. I could work also with the back face masking to be sure that I'm just moving the visible part, but I don't care if I'm doing some modification on the other side, because I will sculpt again all these parts. Then this is more where I need to refine. And something which is very important for the Japanese figurine, Japanese style, a lot of things are about the small details. And even if it will be just a small part, if you remove some details, you can say, oh, it's not very important, again, because it won't be very visible. But if you remove them with or without, you may show your work to someone and just ask which one do you prefer. And they will, most of the time, they will give the answer, but the one which have more small, subtle details. And they won't be able to know why, but they say, okay, this one seems better. Because most of the time of all of these small details. Okay. It should be almost okay. Perhaps I will inflate a little bit. Okay, let's move. Hi, Dark and Grim. Let me just look at the chat, sorry, because I'm talking lots. Yeah, let me check everything. Yeah, please don't critique my accent. Yeah, no, for this model, yes. Thank you, Doug, to give the comments. I will 3D print everything. And again, I will, in this stream, not today, but along the next streams, I will explain all the process, how to prepare everything for 3D printing. Really trying to do almost, I hope to be able to show almost everything, perhaps not the full folding process at itself, because it may be boring just to watch a 3D printer, and some part won't be possible, just to show the part where I just extract things for the printer, cleaning the printing process, cleaning the printed file, sorry, as soon as it's out of the printer, because it's full of resin, you need to go to an IPA bath. It's very complicated, and I can't do that in the office where I'm located. But I will do all the cleaning, meaning sanding and all these kind of things, I hope, with a stream, I hope. Okay. Then I will do everything, as you can see on, oh, you don't see it in the background. Let me just, sorry, rotate. You see I have a printer here, which is the Ultimaker 2 Plus extended, and on the other side, sorry, this is a mess in my office, we don't see, it's behind the screen, sorry. Behind the screen you have the Form 1 Plus, and I should upgrade to the Form 2 roughly in 15 days, I hope. If it's everything is okay, then everything will be 3D printed with the Form 2 directly. Okay, and now let's use but the Dynamesh brush, just to start doing all these small lines, which could be some stitching. And again, something which is important is I'm sculpting for the 3D printing, meaning that I may do some part with more contrast in the details, because they will need to be visible for the print. And when you are doing the 3D printing process, you will lose some details, some just depth when you have some contrast like that. Then you see, if I want to see something, you see, if the Panty is at this size, you see you barely see the line in between. And it will be the same for the 3D printer. Then you may need to increase a little bit the size just to make the depth of this part more important, to increase it. And let's continue all around. And you need to consider as well that some parts won't be that visible, because if I remove the solo mode and I put everything in the pose, you see, we see the front, oops, sorry, we see the front part, but the back part maybe not that visible. But well, I don't know, then it's better to do everything, and after I will see how much will be visible or not as soon as the pose will be done. I may do some stitching after with some brushes. I don't know yet. I'm not very good at doing my strokes tonight. You see, I'm in the position where I'm just twisting my my wrist, correct? I will do again, so, oops, too far. I may do a small knot or some pattern on the back as well. And something to consider also for me is, I don't know yet for the pose, but probably I will just split my model on this area to have a top part and a bottom part with the butt and the beginning of the leg, and also again just splitting my model on this area. Then I will need to be very careful about this area just to split and having a nice transition, not a nice transition, but be sure that as soon as I will connect everything after the printing, that the seams won't be visible between both parts. Okay. You're welcome for the matcap. I'm not using the right-click navigation with ZBrush. In fact, I'm using a mix of the original navigation and the right-click navigation of ZBrush. I started years ago with the right-click, the regular navigation inside of ZBrush. Then I'm a little bit, I mean, not really used about the right-click navigation. But as soon as I'm explaining to newcomers to ZBrush, to newcomers how to use ZBrush, I'm always learning them the right-click navigation. It's less confusing. I can't do my stroke today. And I will inflate as well this area. I can change off matcap to have a better point of view. Oh, why my matcap? I did a... something is wrong. Let me RGB and doing a fill objects. Oh, sorry. Fill objects. What I did was to simply filling my model with the flat material, because I guess in the previous stage I did a fill object for the color and the material was on. Then I fill my model with the material. If you want to remove the material which has been filled, you just need to select the flat color and then you do a fill object in material mode. So I'm late in the chat. And when I will do my inflate, probably I will just reduce the resolution, which I should have done earlier. That. This is all the type of details which are kind of time consuming, but well, you need to do them. Also something that people may not know is, you see, for this kind of stroke, I'm just bending, I'm twisting my my wrist like that, and I would like to have something on another point of view. And sometimes it's very difficult when you want to rotate in ZBrush to find the good orientation and say, okay, now it's better that way. I don't know if you know this usage of transpose, but if you are using transpose rotate and you do a control and you click and drag this white dot, you can rotate your camera that way. This is just the camera that you are rotating, not the object by itself. And now I have a better orientation for my stroke. Like that. I'm lacking of polygons on this area. It won't be the part which will be really visible, but well, let's do it until the end. Now I will do the opposite, just to give some more depth. Just smoothing like that. I'm using a lot the damn standard brush by inverting it. I mean, doing one way and the other way. The problem is sometimes it's a little bit too much as a pinch, and perhaps just the standard brush could be enough. Yeah, I think standard brush will be enough. Since the damn standard brush is based on the standard brush, to be honest, I'm not using a lot the standard brush. Most of the time it's when I want to use I want to do some poly painting what I'm doing, but not really sculpting with the standard brush. This is not something I really enjoy. I don't really like the effect it gives on the model. Well, it's really my own way of working, of course. It's too blobby for what I'm doing, then I'm not a big fan of that. Let's smooth a little bit. Let's try to see at a smaller size. Yeah, it's difficult with the, with the aliasing. You see, I'm doing a render times 2 times to see what could be the result. You see that way. For the render, I think I have some BPR filters. No, let me. What I'm doing for my renders is I'm using the BPR filters most of the time with the contrast auto gray with a small value, and just using here the sharpen mode, and you see like that I have a better render. And for the shadows in the render, you have the shadows. I'm reducing the strength, reducing the angle, something like around 8. And let's see, it will be better now. Yeah, you see the shadows are less visible. And I'm using a lot this kind of settings. Augustan tasking, yes, I will do everything from the sculpting ZBrush until the end for 3D printing. including the 3D printing process, I mean preparation inside of Preform, which is a software from Formlabs, and also including cutting the part inside of ZBrush, preparing everything. Then it will be kind of time consuming, but it's very important to see the full process. Doug, no, sorry, I won't send you the Form 1. I already have someone who will have this Form 1 Plus. Seal Crush, I'm not the best one for the ZBrush render. I can do some stuff, but I mean, you have people who are able to do really great renders with ZBrush, to be honest. I'm very impressed sometimes by what people can do, but sorry, I'm just removing the materials for that because it's annoying for me to see that. Fill objects, but my skills are limited. If I really want to do renders with, let's say, not more control, because I really like the way that ZBrush is doing the render. You have really beautiful renders done with ZBrush, which is not hyper realistic, that you can see somewhere for some people, which is very impressive. I like the style, but what I'm doing is mainly just to do something which make my model, let's say, better, look nicer for presentation, nothing else. Or then I will use the keyshot, the keyshot bridge, and then keyshot to do my renders. Well, this is the way that I'm doing things. What I will do, I'm sorry, I will just finish, but I think I will use my my clay builder brush. I'm really more used with this brush. So smoothing like that. We are in 3D, then it's important to give some depth. I'm not sure about my accent for depth because I'm thinking about dying or not hearing something. It's very difficult for us to have the good accent. I will need to do some close folds as well. And you see, each time I'm going back like that, I'm see, okay, so far, oops, sorry. Where I am, is it okay? Not enough, not too much. I may just remove, not removing, but going a little bit lower in resolution. Perhaps I need to improve some details, increasing the thickness, not the thickness of the shape by itself, but more the details. Let me switch back to solo mode. If you have some technical questions as well, you can just ask them. I will do my best to answer. Of course, if it's on topic, it's way better, but perhaps I will be able to answer other questions. I just need to look at the chat 2 times. And I think I will do all the folds when I will do the pose after, I guess. And I need to find some references. And no, I won't use why I have substance in my head, not substance. Marvelous Designer, sorry. I have Substance Designer and Marvelous Designer. I won't use this software, then don't ask the question. I don't really know it, then I won't use something I don't know. And for 3D printing, it may ask me more time to use it and going back and forth for this kind of things, since it's very a simple shape, because I need to convert to some thickness, because again I'm working for 3D printing, then it's very important to consider the thickness aspect of my models. I need to convert everything, I need to export, import, and sometimes it's not worth using other software. I had some comments recently about the previous stream where I'm using the topology brush and people saying, oh, but why Thomas, you're not exporting to another software to do the retopology? It would be faster. Well, yes and no. Yes, the retopology could be faster in another software, but the time you need to export, to import, eventually dealing with the scale factor, resolution, all these kind of things, make the process in fact slower. Of course, if I had to do a full retopology of a character, then perhaps I will use another software. Even if I'm doing, let's say, everything with ZBrush, just because I'm used to that, I can understand that people may use other software, of course. See, I'm lacking of resolution for that. You see the standard brush give this kind of thin area that I don't like. Okay. Then what I will do is perhaps using my inflate brush now. Just to inflate some of the parts. Again, I will just keep that because I feel that I'm just editing the back as well, the back of the model. Oops, I didn't see that. And you see now that I using the inflate brush, I have all the edges just bulging, just inflating everything, which will pinch at the end my parts. And it's better to have more thickness than not enough for 3D printing. Oops. It was a little bit too much for this part. I will look at the chat in a few seconds. Hi, good guy. Okay. Then you see I'm lacking of resolution. It's just more landmarks for now. Okay, I will do the small knot here. Then for that, I will insert. I will do the same technique as the last time. I will just insert a small primitive. I will switch to Dynamesh and just roughly. This is very, very small and tiny. It shouldn't be very complex. And I will insert, let's say, too much polygons. I don't know. Yeah, I will pick this one. Which is, where is it? Where is this part? Transparency, where is it? Oh, in the head. Let's put on the good location. Let me switch the symmetry on, sorry, in scale mode. Say that way. Like that. And now let's just shape it. I will switch to Dynamesh very soon. But for now, you see, I'm lacking of resolution. If I want to do the part which go around the knot, that way, move. Okay, let's Dynamesh, I guess, with a high resolution. No, don't want to keep them. You see, I'm right now with this high resolution, it's not enough. Dynamesh, no, okay. Should be okay for now. Damn soda brush. And it's really a small detail, then I won't spend a lot of time on it. Okay, let's Dynamesh. It's a bit too much. I just subdivide my model to have a better resolution, since my shape now is here. You need to consider that even at this size, you see it will be like that. Then it's very small, and I don't need to spend quite some time. But you are surprised sometimes by the what your printer is able to do. Then you say, okay, it won't be visible, but in fact it's really visible, and you have some surprises. Again, sorry for my lack of vocabulary. I think I'm spending too much time on that, way too much time. I need to change the thickness. Move. And now move. And I will apply a clay polish on it. You see, I really love clay polish because it gives you a kind of sharp aspect to the model, a kind of small finishing. It should be okay. Yes, this is a good point that Doug that you are raising. That which is even though you might think you know your 3D printer abilities, you should model them fully just in case. Yes, there is another reason for that. I will take the example of photography. I'm doing a lot of photography when I have the time, and I'm shooting my photo in RAW. RAW, you know, this is a file, the file format, which is without any kind of modification from your camera, digital camera on your photography. Then you are using software like Lightroom from Adobe to do all your edits on your image. Not, I mean, like Photoshop, doing some fine-tuning here and there, but just playing with the contrast, with the lights, sharpening, some colors, just globally on the photo, which is a really great process. And you have people just, okay, I don't care, I can use just small photo, or I won't keep the raws, this source file, because it's done for now. And because all this raw file is not good, I can't do anything with photo because this is underexposed or overexposed and it's too bright and blah blah blah, a lot of things. And in fact, you see that after some time that the software are way more powerful and you are able to do things on your photos which was not possible before with the software. And then for the 3D printer, I see that the same way. Is for now I have a printer, at least myself, which is, I mean, I have the Ultimaker 2 behind, which is an FDM printer, and the Form 1 Plus, which is an SLA printer with the laser. And I mean, I've been so happy with the Form 1 Plus. To be honest, it's for me a great printer. It's able to do very fine details. You can build very large models like this one. A lot of things together. Let me see. Yeah. You see this kind of speed sculpting with a lot of details you see on the top. These kind of things, which are very thin and okay, it's great. And say, okay, it's for what I just purchased, it's way enough. And you notice that after some time that a new model is just out, and this model is able to do a print in a better quality, being more accurate, being able to do more details, or not having all these layer lines, which was kind of problematic for some models, which is not anymore the problem. And the Form 2 is for me this kind of printer. And of course, I had one just for 3 months, which was not a lot, but there is a big gap between the Form 1 Plus and the Form 2. The gap is not in terms of build size, I mean volume size, because it's, yes, 40% more. Okay, you have 1 extra centimeter on each side and one on top, which is, I mean, bigger, but not as huge as my Ultimaker 2 Plus extended. But the printing quality is so much better. Let me just grab some model. Then I don't know if you can see that. Sorry for the focus. This kind of model, you have this part. Sorry, it has been the only failure I had with the printer. This one. In fact, the printer froze, totally froze, like your Windows computers. And you see this is in 2 parts, and I can just assemble everything. You see on the back I have a lot of holes just to connect some other parts. And for this model I print the original one in the Form 1, and I had a lot of small layer lines and some details which I have been able to do them. I mean, they are not just not visible. And for this one, it's just perfect. And another reason is not only the printer, this is a resin that I was using. This is a gray version 3 from Formlabs, and I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I mean, straight out of the printer, it's almost perfect. Almost no sanding, a lot of small details. It's just crazy. Then it's very important to, okay, consider that perhaps one day what you're doing now won't be very nice. Perhaps you will upgrade your printer, or perhaps technology will be way better. Then, sorry, I'm talking a lot about that, but it's yes, it's also a huge gap in your wallet. I agree. I mean, I'm spending quite some money in 3D printer. because I had a Ultimaker. I had a MakerBot 2, Ultimaker 2 Plus Extended, Form 1 Plus. I have a Zim, which is another printer, a two-head, dual extruder printer, which is just a pure crap. And then later the Form 2. Then it's expensive, but well, it's so great to have a printer. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I could talk for hours about 3D printing, to be honest. No, I'm not really interested in DLP printer. I prefer SLA. To be honest, I didn't spend enough time with DLP printer. This is how can I say that? I really started with the Form 1. That's why I really enjoyed this printer for a lot of reasons. For the DLP printer, my concern is the size of what you want to print. Most of them, you can have a crazy resolution, but a very small building size, volume size for your print. You have the specification. Oh, you can print I don't know, 1 inch per, let's say, 15 minutes, which is pretty fast, but it's in the lowest resolution. I mean, this is a resolution that I won't print because it's something like 200 microns. Okay, I don't care about this kind of resolution. Even for a draft, I may not print at this size. What I want is to have all these small details, and then you need to increase the resolution. Then, as soon as you increase the resolution with a DLP printer, it means that you are reducing the building size. And I like to print big. Like I said, this model that I'm working on right now, I want to print at a fifth of the size, which will be 32 centimeters for the high. And 32 centimeters is quite big. Then if I want to have a resolution at 25 microns with all the small details, I think SLA for now it's better, but again, this is my own opinion. And you have some improvement also on DLP printer with, especially now, some DLP projector which are just using a UV lamps, I mean, for the bulb, for the light, which are just UVs and not full light. There is a lot of things. Then, I mean, we are at an age which is just fantastic to be able to see all these evolutions for the print. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm so happy with all these changes. I mean, I started the 3D in 1996 as a professional user. Then I started, of course, earlier. And when I was able to see all of these CNC machine already, I was so crazy about that. And I really followed all the evolution of 3D printing. And I was dreaming on that, and the day that all this new printer arrived on the market, the FDM printer, I said, okay, this is the time now. And then the SLA printer. I mean, when I saw the Form 1 Kickstarter, I was, okay, this is the time. To be honest, it has been very difficult with the Form 1. Because the printer was, okay, it was the beginning of the 3D printing, SLA printing. Then it has been a lot of failures, a lot of problems, a lot of really bad things about the printer, and also some process like the support that you will see later for some future streams was so difficult. For a long time, I had to build my own 3D support for the printing inside of ZBrush using these spheres and a lot of other things like that. And again, it has been difficult, and I had so much failure, not because of the printer, because of my lack of knowledge. It was very difficult to find the information. You had also, of course, the printer had some failure. The Form 1, my printer has been replaced twice. And I'm very happy that Formlabs plays the game. I mean, they played the game. They could have, okay, you could have do something like, okay, you have the printer, yeah, it doesn't work, okay, sorry for you. No, they have been very a great company for that, and that's why this is another reason why I'm sticking to Formlabs and the printer is, okay, I don't say this is a perfect company, they do everything perfectly. Like all companies have some failures and things like that. But at least as a backer from Kickstarter and following them, I've been very, very happy with them. Then for me, this is another argument, because you have a lot of people saying, okay, yeah, this is this Kickstarter and I will spend, okay, the Form 2 is $4,000. That's quite some money, not including all the materials that we need around, which are the resin and the resin tanks and all these kind of things, which kinds of money each month that you're printing with your model. And you have some Kickstarter which are at 2,000, 3,000, which of course is less expensive. And people say, okay, I will try that one, it's at least less expensive. And you know, now after all the printer that I had and all the failure, all the stuff I did, and also all the discussion I had with quite some people about 3D printing, and you see that, okay, you have quite some failures with a lot of printers. A lot of printers which was great on Kickstarter, you see that there is no support, or just the company died. And one of my printer, which is then the Zim, which is a Kickstarter project as well, or it was Indiegogo, I don't remember, which was a 900 euros, which was roughly $1,000 at that time, which was a dual extruder printer, fast printer, accurate. It was one of the first to have a nozzle of 35 0.35 millimeters, which is 350 microns. Okay, it was great. And I received the printer, of course, after some delays, as usual on Kickstarter. And the printer, it was not like I was hoping. And after something like less than a year, just no reply from the company, no more supports. And unfortunately, the company owner had some, I think, a car accident, something like that. And just everything just started to go down. And after some few months, okay, no support, nothing else. And something which was a real problem is the slicer, which is a process of converting the 3D model to something compatible for the printer, was just online in the cloud. Okay, cloud is great, but if the company is down, just dying, and no more server, then no more cloud, and no more slicing, then your printer is just a kind of mass of metal and plastic and you can't do anything about that. And that's why it's very important to consider this kind of thing, and considering the community which is behind. And luckily for the Zim, you had, and even if it's now kinda almost over and done, you still have people who try to find some way to make the printer working. And with a Raspberry Pi, you're able to connect the printer inside, installing the software and making the printer working. But if you want to replace a part, you are all alone. And yes, it was a great Kickstarter project, but at the end, it was something I just spent quite some money for nothing. Then when you are selecting a printer, don't look only at the specification. Look as well as how strong is the company behind. When you want really to do some Kickstarter, how looks the video? Is it a professional style video, meaning that they are spending quite some time in marketing? Because you can have a great printer with a lot of very powerful, strong specification, but if you are not able to sell your printer, not able to make people knowing your printer, then you are a dead company. And then the few people who will purchase the product won't have any more support or any more help from the company. Then consider these kind of things when you are purchasing a printer, because there is so many printers in the market at all prices. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm trying to explain since the beginning, but think about all of that when you are buying some your printer. It's very, very important. Sorry, I didn't look at the chat, not that text. Yeah, Pixel Desire 3D. I can't say that buying a Form 2 if this is the best printer. I have no, it's not a benefit for me. I mean, I don't gain some money by selling the Form 2, unfortunately. But for me, this is now a company that I'm considering as a serious company. Meaning that now this is a business that they are doing. It's not anymore the Kickstarter style project. This is more a company which is moving forward. They released a few days ago a full system for cleaning for all the post-process of 3D printing, which is really annoying, which is to clean in the IPA bath your model, and after you need to cure your resin a little bit more with UVs, and there is a new product which is, from my point of view, so expensive. I mean, I can't afford such material. It's something like $1,100 for both products. Then I will do it still manually, but they are targeting both ZBrush users and as well as dentists or jewelry designers, product designers, and for me it's a company now. Anyway, I'm talking a lot, but I'm not not really sculpting and modifying my model like I should do. Sorry. You see what I wanted to say earlier, but if you start to ask me questions about 3D printing, I won't stop. Okay, trying to adapt that. Sorry. Okay, I need to work on this part as well. I think I will do it that later. So I need to refine that, but I think I will do that with the pose. I need to find some references for the folds on the back, because I'm not very good at that. And now I think if I start to do some, yeah, I think I will do this part at least when I will do the pose. Okay. Okay. Ah, yes. I wanted to work on the apron. Where is my apron? Where is it? And again, I want to change the shape on the top, and I will do the same as before. Let's switch to saw mode. With my symmetry, it will be way better. Okay, move like that. Need to inflate a little bit. Yeah, it's not very easy to find a printer in terms of budget, because yeah, again, like I said, the Form 2 is a great printer, but it's quite expensive. I mean, not everybody can purchase such printer. I mean, it has been very long negotiation with my wife to upgrade the printer, and I'm considering doing a full training that I may sell personally on the Form 2. A lot of things I will show you, but it's so easy to prepare your model the right way, and having a lot of frustration because you have failed prints, especially considering the time it will take to print your model. I exchanged a lot with an artist recently, a great ZBrush artist, doing also figurines, but who never purchased a printer. And recently he purchased a form too. And he had so many questions about how I can do that, and if I do that, sending me models before printing. And once he had a failure, and just the model just dropped from the support and just inside of the resin tank after 8 hours of print. Of course, all the print is dead, everything is dead, and you're losing some resin, which is quite some cost, sometimes, etc., etc. And the problem was just because he did, he just removed the internal part of the model just to save on some resin, but it creates some suction cup, something where you have kind of some holes, and then resin was not able to be inside or just pushing the model. This is something which is very technical, but if you don't know that, don't understand that, you can go, I mean, you can facing a lot of failed prints, and without understanding why. And I think I explained that in the stream. I don't know if you see on this model this mark here, just this one, a little bit whiter area. For this one, because you see my model is just empty inside, then I have a thickness, constant thickness. And when I print on this side, I have a part which with no holes. Then the resin was not able to go out, and then each time I was printing, the resin was trying to push to go out of the model. And all these kind of things are very, very problematic if you don't understand this kind of thing for 3D printing. Then you can have a lot of failed prints just because of that. It's very, very easy, unfortunately. And I had a lot of failed print, a lot. With lack of, not enough polygons, anyway. Should be okay. I can Zremesh after if I want. You see, this is what I'm saying about small details. The printer should be able to print them, I think, I hope. But I need to be very careful about the thickness it will be. And another problem I need to consider is the need of supports. Because if I'm printing on this direction, then it will be from bottom to the top, no problems. But if I'm printing in this direction, I will need a bunch of supports on these areas, like that, just to start the print of the model. And I need to be very, very careful. Then I'm smoothing a little bit my model to... I'm not sure I will keep that. It's not as nice as I was hoping. Yeah, I'm not sure I will keep that. I think it's too much. Not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I will move that part. And I think I will do some extra to do better transition in between. Smaller one. Okay. Pixel Desire 3D, just can you drop me an email to thomas@pixologic.com? It will be better to discuss these kind of things. Yes, I will be fine. I mean, I will be happy to test printers. It's not a problem. It's most of the time a matter of time. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine to testing all the printer. The more I know, the more I'm able to share with people. Anyway, then I had some. I think the Move 3D printer can be interesting. At least the specification looks interesting, but I can't critique really in detail a printer without testing it. The Form 2, I know it. The Form 1, I know it. The Ultimaker, I know it. And it's easy. Then just drop me an email. It will be easier that way. Doug, does the Form 2 software analyze or point out problematic area of print aside for overhang and support? It's showing you areas which are lacking support, meaning that it may be fragile. You may have some issues during the print process. Also, when you are sending a model to just to the printer, it will analyze if there is some inconsistencies in terms of topology. If you have degenerated faces or non-manifold edges or polygons, holes, and it will be able to fix most of the issues. If the software is not able to fix your issues in terms of just topology of your model, it means that you have really a bad problem. It's based on NetFab, which is a free software or paid software to analyze 3D prints now owned by Autodesk. And it's a great way to check your model. I'm using this software a lot on my side. But except that, it's only preparing your model for 3D printing. It won't having operation like hollowing your model. It will be just it's to prepare for 3D printing, almost nothing else. But it do it the right way. And this is also, I'm sorry, I'm not doing an advertising for Formlabs. I'm sorry if I'm talking a lot, but you will see that when I will present the parts about preparing for 3D printing, that the software is well done, is able to manage high resolution meshes from ZBrush. There is a lot of good things about the software. And at the beginning, like I said, it was not as powerful as it is right now. Like I said, I had to create my support myself. I think they recreated the support process 3 or 4 times. Each time to improve, to use less resin, to be easier to remove or to be stronger. And now, I mean, except for very specific models, I don't see the benefit of trying to do your own support yourself, or even using other software to deal with the supports. It's a nice improvement over the time. And again, for me, this is how can I say that? It's a great way to avoid losing some time, because this 3D printing process is very time consuming. You will see that preparing my model for the printing process at the end of the stream is very, very time consuming. Just looking at each layers one by one and all these kind of things, it takes quite some time. And everything that your software can do, the best it is. And I see some printer, I don't know if you notice one of the printer which name is Liquid Crystal, which is a printer using daylight resin, which are very, very sensitive to the light, because it's using a computer screen as the light source to solidify your resin. And I have one of my best friends who purchased this printer just before the release. And like I said, for Kickstarter, thing like that, it has been just a pure mess. I've been with him to set up the printer. We tried to find a way. The software was a kind of open source software, which is not a problem. I mean, I have nothing against open source software, but the software is not designed for the printer. It's designed for kind of a lot of multiple printers, and it was just a nightmare. And this printer was using a technique where you have a kind of plastic film just down the resin tank and put that on top of your screen of the printer. And I think he has no success at all. And because the screen, the slice, I mean the slice of the model, which was just an image on the screen, was stretched, or after the exposition time was not enough, and after he had some leaking of resin in his printer, then resin inside of the printer. Then at the end, he spent something like 900 euros for nothing. Then for this printer, I can critique it because I saw it. I helped him finding a way to print with it. Then be very careful with that. Then perhaps this new 3D printer will be a great printer, but you need to see that over the time. Another printer, I forgot the name. Sorry, it will come back. There is other printers which can be interesting, to be honest. But again, just take care. I should do what I did before, was to do these wave shapes, and after connecting is it around? Yep. Oops. Okay. I would like to know, which is a little bit off topic, does anyone in the chat have very good connection? Then I would like to know if the stream quality and the video compression is okay for you. It's not too much. Yes. I have 8 millions for the upfront. It's way too much, but when you see the model at a lower resolution like that, it should be okay as well. I don't know at which level I will be at the end. Okay, so we need to move that inside. Oops, let's do it now. One thing I need to explain as well is, let me put, yeah, I forgot one thing. I have the skirt, okay, that way. That's why I had this problem. Something I will need to do is, let me change the color of that. Come on. Sorry. Material, fill objects. Okay. What I wanted to say, yeah. You see, I will need to change that after, but I will do it after the pose is the distance between the skirt and the body, which is too far. It should be connected, because when I will do my cuts for the model, I will do this bottom part, which will plug just below the skirt, and the top on the skirt itself. Then if I have floating areas, it won't work. But again, this is all the things I will need to refine as soon as I will be done with the pose. Okay. Then this is all the thing I need to check. Move. I need to be, the apron need to be very close to the model, because it needs to fit really the shape. That's why always I'm working with these subdivision levels. I'm always able to go up and down and having a better control to refine everything. See this part, I need to put it more inside, and that. You see all of that to be closer to the body itself. But this is everything which is not easy to deal with, because you don't see when it will just when each part will overlap. You see inside. And if I switch to transparency mode, and now, okay, now I see it. But again, I will try to refine everything as soon as I will do the pose. Okay, thank you for the feedback for the stream quality. Yes, Doug, I will do the rows. Something that I will perhaps do in a few minutes. I will just need to, no, I will do that after. I'm just trying to see everything which is symmetrical as much as possible. I need to refine it a bit, the shoes. For everything else will be, it's not symmetrical. I need to refine this part as well, which is not connected. Okay, so not, I'm trying to really see what I need to do. Okay, I'll do that after. Okay, then yes, I will do the rows now. I have no idea exactly how I will do it. Yes, I have an idea, but I need to be very careful. The only thing that I may not do is, you see, around just below the rows, you have this kind of floating knot like that. and my concern is the size of this small knot, and I'm afraid that for the 3D print it will be very difficult. If I want to do something for 3D printing, I will need to increase really the thickness of my model to be perhaps twice this thickness, and we need to be very, very careful during the 3D printing to you see, this is the kind of thing I don't know yet. Perhaps I will try to do the print, since it will be a large scale, and it should be okay. But if I want to print at an eighth of the size, which is kind of standard for the figurines, I think this one is a seventh, seventh of the size. You see, all these kind of things which are very specific like that. It may be a problem for 3D printing, to be honest. But I can try. I know for the Form 1 Plus it will be a problem, but I'm not sure for the Form 2. Sorry. Seagull Crush, I won't do the post today. I don't think so, because it's already 1 hour and a half that I'm on the stream. Even if my migraine is better, I'm not sure yet. Let's see, I will do the rows and I will work a little bit on the shoes, and after we will see. Perhaps I will start to deal with the, I need to do this part. Yeah. Okay, now, let's just finish this part for now, and after I will do the rows. Okay, let's see, I'm in symmetry. Okay, it's inside. Let me see. I'm not sure to do that in 2 parts or 1 part. You see, I just subdivide a little bit more. This one, okay, I need to have better flow, because I don't know yet if I'm trying to merge everything and doing a Dynamesh or not. I'm not sure. Okay, transparency, I think I will do it like that. Oops, why my clay buildup is, I know. Dynamic subdivision, dynamic is on. Each time you see something which look weird in terms of, why my brush is not working as it should work, you can suspect the dynamic subdivision to be on. Yeah, I'm just growing a little bit my topology like that, and after I will merge everything and I will do a Dynamesh, and after a retopology. Let me remove that. Okay. I just do that to do some contrast between both parts. Okay, let's continue this rounded part. Okay. What is the minimum thickness for me? It's around, if I want to be secure, just for, let's say, this kind of small details, around 0.5 millimeter is okay. But if I want to keep all this floating part, which may be a little bit big, I would say around 1.5 to 2 millimeters, because of the peeling process for the printer. And it's very important to consider this problem. And for that, let me hide the body. I will remove the crease edges. I get that I have crease and crease all. Yeah. And now I will just increase that. What I want to do is to, again, to have later a better transition in between. You see I'm lacking of polygons on this area. Come on, save! Sometimes I want to remove the autosave, like some artists are doing, but now by experience I prefer keeping my autosave because multiple times it has been very helpful for me. Okay. Then what I will do is I will merge down. Oops. You see, what you see right now on this area is because I used a large brush for the thickness. And don't forget that your brush are not just a pure 2D disc, two-dimensional disc, but a 3D sphere. Your brush is a 3D sphere. And all the clay-based brushes are grabbing what is on, I mean, all your polygons and trying to make them not flatten, but trying to do some kind of average elevation. Then if it's able to grab some polygons on the back, they will really grab them very strongly towards the location of your brush. That's why it's very, very important to always look around your model after doing these kind of things. Then what I will do, I will go in my brush palettes and I will auto masking, backface masking, and now I'm able to correct that. And the backface masking is just working, of course, on the front faces and not everything which is on the back of your model. Okay, well, it's not like it was before. Okay, then now let's, yeah, it's way too much. Anyway, I will fix that later. Where is it? This part is here and this one is here. Okay, then before doing my mess, what I will do, I will duplicate my model, this one as well, duplicate, and I will merge down this one with the other one, merge down. Yes, it's not undoable, and this one and this one, I will hide them. And as you can see, I did a mistake, is when I merged down this model, I had, I guess, a dynamic subdivision on it. And when you are merging down, if you have some dynamic subdivision, it will remove it. Then it's not as smooth as it should be. That's why duplicating first has been a good solution. Then I still pick this one, going up, then I can remove that one, delete, yes. And again, I will duplicate, okay, hiding them. And this one, I will just do Ctrl D twice. Now this one, and yeah, and merge down. Okay, now that's okay. I think I unhide, yeah, everything. Okay, okay, and that one. Okay. Then now I'm at this stage where I have everything which should be roughly merged. And why I'm doing all of that is because I want to be sure that I will have a nice transition. Of course, this is two parts anyway, but I want to be sure that for this part, I will have enough thickness everywhere. And I need to be very careful with all these kind of fold parts, which may be a bit tricky. Okay, then I will do a Dynamesh with, let's try with this resolution, 600. No, not enough. Dynamesh, no. Yes. Then before moving forward, I want to be sure that, you see, I don't have part where the Dynamesh hasn't been enough and I may have some connected areas, because after I will do a Zremesher, then I need to have really a good flow of polygons. And perhaps it's not enough right now. What is it, my resolution? 12, yeah, let's increase it a bit more. 16,000, yeah, better that way. And I'm able to now do my stuff, trying to smooth a little bit. I need to be very careful on this part. Giving more thickness. And you see, sometimes you may have some, you see, polygons like that. This is just, you see, two quads which are connected in between, and the vertex is a bit alone. Okay, that way. Let's do that quickly. Don't forget, I have the other side as well. What I mean the other side is the symmetry. Okay. Should be okay. Now just remove a little bit for this part. And it should be fine. I may do some deformations later. Let's say, okay, I can do something more like that, and but I will do that when I will have my my subdivision levels, I think. Sorry, I'm looking at my polygroups to see if I will use them or not, but I don't think so. Oops. I'll try to make that a little bit more round. Just to break the angle. Yes, Doug, if you have multiple subtools that you are merging and all these subtools have the same level of subdivision, then ZBrush will keep this level. Then you will still have subdivision levels. That's why sometimes when I'm doing my my merge down, if I have two models with subdivision levels but not at the same level, sometimes I'm adding extra subdivision levels to the one which have less subdivision levels, just to be sure that I will still keep them. Yeah, sorry, I'm doing that now. I know I said I will do it after, but well. It will be perhaps better for the Zremesher. It's always difficult to stop what you're doing to do something else. It's always very difficult for me to stick to a workflow. I'm always changing my mind at the last minute or doing something different. But that's the beauty of ZBrush. Give you more freedom about what you want to do. Okay, and now let's try Zremesher on that. It will be a surprise. Let me smooth the internal parts, which won't be that visible. Let's apply a clay polish. Yeah, give a better result. I really love this clay polish, as you can notice. And now again, what I will do, I will duplicate my model just to keep a copy. I will do a Zremesher with I will increase the number of polygons because of all this extra part on the top, at the end, sorry. Now let's wait. Let's wait again. Okay, let's see. I'm afraid of the result, and I was right. You see, all these parts, I don't have enough polygons for this area. Then let's undo. What I can try is, I'm not really using that with Zremesher, but you can use the polypaint, increase the density. With my standard brush, it would be better to paint that way and say, okay, I want to have, come on, Thomas, remove the add. I want a regular density. You see, you can paint if you want like that, but on this area I want to increase the density. Say to Zremesher, okay, I want to have more polygons. Can even increase to the maximum. Let's go to 1. Just to remove this part because I don't use it. Oh, let me go in brush and remove my no, backface masking. It was with my clay builder brush. Sorry, it's before, I'm forgetting. Okay. Okay, now let's see what will happen. I'm just smoothing a little bit for the transition. It won't change anything, I'm afraid, but well, let's try it. And now let's start again. Yeah, Doug, it's not anymore hot chocolate, it's more cold chocolate. But it's a good hot chocolate. I don't drink coffee, but I really enjoy good hot chocolate. Okay, let's wait. Yeah, this kind of part is really tricky for Zremesher because it's a mix of change of resolution. Yeah, it's very, very hard. You see this kind of change of direction. Yeah, it's not good. And to be honest, I don't know what I will do for that. Let me undo. Sorry, I'm doing another time. Trying again. Okay. I won't use the poly painting, but I will increase the adaptive size to the maximum and increase the target count, which is 10,000 per item. Let's see. This is a part that I don't really like because you don't have really the control. I really love the Zremesher because for so many things it's way faster than trying to do it yourself. But for this kind of things, you see that it's very difficult for it to find the path. Then not sure for the result. I hope it will work now. Come on. Yeah, it seems to be... I said nothing. Why it's able to work on one side but not the other side? Yeah. Then you know what? Unfortunately, that's why I saved before these parts. Why have it twice? Okay. You see, I still have that one. And I think for now I will stick with it, at least. Okay. And I will see later what I can do. Perhaps for the pose it will be okay. I'm afraid not, but well, let's stick with that for now. Okay, remove my solo mode. I hide everything. This part, where is it? Okay, I will do the rows now. Then to do the rows, I need to do this part outside. Let's try. I did some flowers, but it was years ago in polygonal modeling, not digital sculpting. Then, okay, I will do separate mesh. I will start with that. I will just clone it to have a copy. And let's remove some polygons. Let's try to build just a part of the rows, and I will try to go from outside to inside. Why? Because the outside part, all the boundary, not the boundaries, but all these outside petals for the part of the flower, sorry for the vocabulary, will be visible for the model. And I need to be sure that everything will be perfect outside. And all the one inside of the rose, only the top will be visible. If inside it's a kind of mess, only for the 3D printing it will be a problem, but not for the visual aspect of the rose. And then inside I can just build some volume just to fill the gap, and it should be okay. Metal, I'm sorry, it's difficult for me for now to look at your work, sorry. Okay. I will need to just decrease the thickness a little bit. I'm just starting to give a roof shape, more rounded shape. And I will work with multiple subtools again, because I will need to duplicate some parts. Yep. I may remove some edge loop around because I think I have too much. I just stick with one for now. Perhaps I remove adding more later. Than with the ZModeler brush, after saving the project. Yeah, I know I have multiple level of subdivision. Okay, come on. Okay, I know. Let me remove lower and higher one, and now again with my model I will remove these edges. Okay. It should be rounded enough. Then Ctrl-Shift-D, I'm duplicating my subtool. Okay. This one I will rotate my model, let's say like that. I will do 5 or 6 around. Then the idea for now is not to be good or accurate or what you want. The idea is just to prepare everything. Then rotate. Just to have some shapes which go as it should be. And you see you have some petals which are just breaking, not always at like that, but roughly a little bit. Sorry, it's not English what I'm saying for now. Okay, I have one. I will duplicate it again, Ctrl-Shift-D, rotate, move. You see the benefit of working with subtool is you can change at any time one of the parts. See more on the side. Yeah, I think I will do 5 for now. I don't guarantee that it will be the best rose ever. Okay, this one, Ctrl+Shift+D again, rotating like that. Need to be more rounded. I will do outside this one. Okay, and to bend it, move, and with, sorry, the Alt key, I can change the shape. Okay, and the last one, outside, outside will be then inside. Yep, outside, inside, outside. Ctrl+Shift+D, rotating up. And what you can do after, because you see at this stage, this is really the beginning of the shape of the rose. But you need to switch between all the subtools. What you can do after is to merge all these subtools, which are just separate shells, and using the topology, move topological brush, then to move each part separately, because it will be, the brush is working only on shapes which have a continuity in terms of topology. This is a great way. The other way is to use just a single polygroup for each item, and after being able to quickly select some parts to work with just the separate polygroups, and then with the move topological as well, or transpose, while you can use for the brushes as well the mask by polygroup, which is a great way to work separately. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I can't see the image for now. Now what I need to do is changing some proportion, because you see the rose is falling. Then I need to move that more to the top, especially this one. And don't forget that I don't have subdivision levels for now. Then if I press the D key, this is the result I will have. And I'm trying to be again good for the basic shape of my rose. And after, of course, I will refine everything. Okay. To be more on the inside. It's not easy. Okay, then now I have this first layer of rose. Then I will do a different subtool. polygrouped for each part. Come on. W. Control W. Okay, now I have a separate polygroups for each one. Then let's do a merge visible. Merge visible will just merge all your model together as a new tool. And now I will put it back. Donc I will just append what I just merged. Okay. Like that I keep a copy of my model. I can do Control D to divide like this, and using my move topological brush, you see, to refine like that, at least this part. And now if I want to bend some areas, I can isolate that one using a mask, inverting, and with my rotate transpose I'm able to do this kind of things using my move brush, trying to smooth a little bit. You see, like that. I can change a little bit the shape, and later I will be able to make the border a bit more thin. Then move. Move topological, it's better. And with more subdivision levels, I will be able to use my pinch brush just to mark, you see it that way. Okay, one is done. Now I can isolate that one, doing again the same thing. Eventually going on the other side. Oops, sorry, I can invert. And I need to be very careful about what I have inside of my model, because you see I have this kind of overlap polygons, because this is outside, which is going on the other side. Then if I'm using my my move topological brush, I should be able to move only the top part and not the bottom part, because my brush is, the brush radius is not big enough to go on the other side. You see, I'm manipulating here and not a lot on the top. And like before, I can use eventually even the edge polish brush. I can move now globally this part. I may need to just using my inflate brush just for the border, because it's too thin, and I prefer increasing the thickness a little bit before it's too late. mainly because of the 3D printing process, as usual. Can use my pinch brush. And you need to consider that the rows will be at that size. Then I need to don't forget about that. Okay, I don't think I will bend a lot this part. You see, that's why I created all these separated polygroups, because I have, again, more control on what I'm doing. Pinch. And I'll bend both of them, I think. Oops, sorry. Let me use my lasso, it will be easier. Except that it's behind pure ref. Mask lasso. Same as before, I need to be very careful about these overlaps polygons. Move topological. Okay, and yeah. Okay, let's say my first layer is fine, like that. And since I have my other subtool, I'm able to work on the second layer now as well. Then I can move, rotate, changing the scale a little bit. Move. Then first one, this one, same thing, rotating a little bit, scaling a little bit, moving a little bit. using my move brush. Then you need to fill the gap. I don't know how many layers I will do. I have no clue yet. I don't know if it will look exactly like a rose. I have no idea. I hope. This one I will again same thing, rotating, but you see I'm taking another position because I don't want to have too much the feeling that it's the same thing that I duplicated, and I don't want to have the kind of overlap aspect which is too much visible, and I want to put that one yeah, here. And I hope it will look like a rose. And for the bottom part, again, like I said before, I don't really care, since everything needs to be filled for the 3D print anyway. Oh, Unicorn Dev is here. Hello. Yes, I'm working on a rose right now, which is this small part on this character. Then you see here. Okay, then I guess the same rose is on the other side. And I'm trying to build one, which is not the easiest thing that, I mean, I'm not used to do roses. Why my alt click is not working like I would like to. Okay. Another one, this one, rotating. Scaling. Moving. Let's continue the deformations. I'm applying the dynamic subdivision so far, that's why I'm able to quickly, oh no, I said nothing. Oh yes, yeah, dynamic. Okay, and the last one, which I'm able to move, rotate again. Oops. Scaling. I need to rotate differently. Okay, like that, moving down. Okay. Yeah, my problem, you see, is that I have parts which are like an helix going around, which is not good. I should inverse some of them, like this one. Okay, this one more on the back, on the front for the other one. Okay, I will leave this one just crossing on top of each others. And again, what I will do, I will merge everything which is visible, like that. Then I will do merge visible, and you see I have my result here. I can now just append what I just merged. Okay, and I can, oops, sorry, make this one just hiding like that. I have both elements. What I will do is just do a Control D using regular subdivision levels, using my Move Topological Brush to work on them separately. I will try to bend, which one I will try to bend? Perhaps that one. Why do we have twice the same polygroup? Whoops. Oh, sorry. Transparency. We rotate, move. Rotate, I said, not move. But I will use my move brush now, like that, to do some bending. I will use my pinch brush. Okay, let's see, you see at this size roughly, and what I can do is, again, let me just duplicate this part, going on the copy, and what I will do is, oops, let's do it the easy way now, like that, scaling, moving a little bit, and now with my Move Topological Brush, trying to change a little bit some of the part. I think it's too much inside. Yeah, it's better. Now you understand why I'm using these polygroups and the Move Topological Brush. It's better to have the control that way. No, it shouldn't be a challenge to print this kind of rows as soon as I will print it vertically like that. I may have some supports needed for that and that, but it won't be a big issue as soon as I will have enough thickness everywhere. And you will see what I will do at the end. Let me duplicate again this one. let me scale down, rotate a little bit, moving up. I need to rotate a little bit the shape. I will do now is I will increase the thickness by going to inflate a little, oops, too much. Okay, because I need to increase, to reduce, sorry, the size, but I still need to keep a kind of consistent thickness. Let me just try to reshape all of that. It's more like a kind of nenufar flower than a rose. I will refine everything after. Let me just doing something. Yeah, clay polish will do the job. It's what I wanted to see. And now just a last one, and it should be okay. And after I will show what I can do to scale. I'm sorry, I'm not a specialist at all of the roses, and I'm doing my best. Sure. I need to break that one if I can. What I mean by break is to giving some angle. That. What I want to do is to hide the internal part as much as possible. Okay, now that I have this kind of shape, which is, sorry, far to be perfect, but I guess I could spend a couple of hours just to work on a rose. What I will do is I will merge visible again, then I will do merge visible. Okay. You see, I have all my subdivision levels because everything was on the same subdivision levels. And with my move topological brush, now I can work on all the parts separately. You see, like that, I can make them a bit closer. I need to go more on the center of the rose, just to close the shape. Just as a test, let me do clay polish. Yeah, I need to have more polygons, not so good. Then you see I have a lot of empty areas like that, just internally. Then what I can do is inserting a sphere like that. Let me reduce the size of this sphere. Then I can just doing a kind of negative inflate or using the size slider. Okay, now I can move it, you see, inside. The only goal of this sphere is just to fill the gap. You see, because I want to have a volume, not areas which are, let's say, kinda empty. I will just Dynamesh this sphere. Oops, sorry, Dynamesh. Well, not enough. Because as you will see, transparency mode, I just want to make this sphere a little bit visible when you are looking at it, meaning that you are aware that this sphere exists. If you don't know about it, you won't look at it, but it will just do its job of filling all this connection between each part. Let me remove the transparency. Then it's too much internally. Sorry, it's not very easy to understand what I'm doing right now, but I just want to keep that like it is. But you see, if you are looking at the rows like that, let me select this one. You see, you don't really see at that size if there is something inside. But by doing so, I will fill, I hope, because I didn't really check yet, but all the gaps inside. Then of course I can continue to fill that way. It's just to give some strength as well to my rows. You see, that's why I'm using the Dynamesh and transparency to be sure that everything will be connected on the outside. This is really 3D printing stuff. There is no benefit of adding that if it's just to render your model or doing something like this. It's just to be sure that everything will be connected. But the more you 3D print, the more you know that you need to use this kind of tricks to be able to have successful print. Then why not increasing a little bit more the size? As soon as it doesn't go outside, like that, I know that I have some security range. I don't know to say that. But I can connect everything. And if you want to see as an example, let's do something. It will be a good example of what I want to do is, let me subdivide now using my clay polish. You see, like this. I remove my transparency, and for that I will simply use my ZBrush. Okay. Just to create some holes. Okay. Then right now what I will do is I will go to doing again a merge visible. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of merge visible, but that way I still keep all my polygroups. And I have my model, which is let's say OK, and you see I have this kind of small part here which is not good. Let me inflate. Okay, that way. And what I will do is I will Dynamesh everything with a high resolution. Then I will going that way, Dynamesh, and you see I have a Dynamesh now of everything. Okay, imagine my print will be something that size, which is on my screen. Where is my ruler? I'm always checking for my ruler where it is. It's something like a little bit more than 2 centimeters, which is way bigger of what it needs to be. Where's my ruler? Then what I will do is I will export that to the plugins. I will I don't know if I have it on this computer. Let me check. Update size ratio, I want this size, and then I want to have 2 centimeters. Then it will be on the X, something like 20 millimeters, and then I can send to Preform. Do I have Preform or not? Come on. Yep. Dismiss, skip, sorry. And I will take my Form 1 plus 0.05, and I'm starting. Sorry, I'm in French. Okay, let me look at the messages while it's loading. Yes, exactly, Doug. This feels like a glue which will connect everything. And you see, sorry, this is in French. I will try to see how can I switch to English language, but it says that some of the models are damaged or having issues. Do you want to have Preform trying to repair automatically this model? And I click on repair and see if it works. In most of the time, Dynamesh is kind of breaking things. But let's see. Need to wait. Let me finish my cold chocolate now. Sometimes it's failing. Let's see if it's working. Okay, then my rose is now in Preform. Preform, I won't print this rose for now at least, but I want to show you the process. Let me just rotate my model. Preform is the software used to prepare the model for the Form 1, Form 1 Plus, and the Form 2. Then in this software, you can see, especially on the side, you have this slicer, which show you how the printer will print the model. And then you see, like that, everything, and I see something wrong here. Anyway, you see, this is all the layers that the printer will print. And for this rows of 2 centimeters for the width, it will be roughly 30 minutes at this resolution of 50 microns. Okay, and that's why I'm doing this system. Is, as you can see, I can see all the layers and I can see if something goes wrong. Then like that, everything has been filled, it's fine. And that's the problem with automatic fixing, is you remember at one stage, and you see here, you have this kind of big triangle which has been created, and this is when the error has been fixed. Then I need to be very careful about my topology before exporting. I won't print that because I know I will have some issues. And you see all these parts which are growing alone, you need to have some support. What are the supports? This is the items which let you some part growing. Remember, we are in the physical world, not anymore in the digital world, just in 3D. You have to make things growing. And if you have nothing growing, it's like your fingers. If you have nothing, you know that it's growing from the bottom to the top. In fact, on the other side. But if you have your fingers like that, and let's say you have your arm Where is my webcam? Okay, it's growing that way, growing. Then everything is fine. But as soon as you arrive on this area, it will start to print your fingers. But if you have nothing between the build platform and your fingers, then nothing will keep your fingers just from falling. Then that's why you need to have this support. And in the software, you have this support system, which will automatically start to create some supports, which are this kind of pillars. Okay, and you see, as soon as the bottom is the build platform, and you are going, layers by layers, you can use the page up key, and you see all this support which will start to make your model growing and appear. You see, this part is connected to a support, then everything is connected to the ground. And the more layers you are building, the more pillar will be connected, giving some strength. Okay, and you go up, like that. You see, this part start to grow alone, printing alone, but you have a support which is connected. And then later it will connect to the other parts, like that. You see all the parts which are growing. Just forget about this small artifact which is here. Okay, that way. And then after a few minutes, like I said, 30 minutes, everything is connected to a support, and now you have everything which is 3D printed. Okay, like that. Then let me check. You see 1 hour and 34 minutes, and you have an indicator of printability saying that probably your model will be fine to print. There is no support issues, no thickness issues, etc., etc. You see. But if I want to print at a way smaller size, let me change the scale. Let's say 5 millimeters. You see, like that. It's way smaller than if I start to create my support. You see the size of my pillars compared to the size of the model. And you see, on this area, you'll have a failure because this part is growing alone. There is nothing connected to the model. This one as well. In fact, Preform has a very hard time to understand the model because this is way too small. And for sure, I will have a failure at this size of just 5 millimeters, which is very small. Then you need to consider when you are printing that, it needs to be printed to something else, like a part of the shoulder area, or just alone, and then you will glue. That's why thinking about the thickness, the size of your model when you are sculpting is very important. Do you need to print that alone or as a separate model? Since I will print my model at a fifth of the size, it will be big. I don't know the size of the rows. I can check it after, but it should be okay. But just alone like that, I need to then edit my support. You see, you can edit the support if you want. Then you see all the parts which are growing alone. Then I need to add one alone here. Where is the other one? Oh, it was this one, no? You see, you can just edit manually all the supports. Okay, it starts on this area. And probably it will print well. It's very difficult to evaluate. And you see, that's why it's very important to anticipate everything as much as possible to avoid some problem when you will start to print. There is nothing more frustrating to being ready and starting to print and you notice that it's too thin. The thickness is not enough, or some parts are just alone and can be printed because there is no way to put some support. And sometimes you have some areas which are very close. You want to print a shape like my hand, like that, and you notice that you need to have some support in between, just to making this finger growing because it starts on this area. Then you can say, okay, let's do a small support in between. The problem is sometimes this is too small and the software has no way to build this support or give enough strength to this support. Then you have no way to print. Then after you need to change the orientation. But sometimes, whatever the orientation, you won't be able to access some parts. Then it's very difficult. Then 3D printed as Spy saying that why not just design it so it doesn't need support. Yes, as much as possible, I'm trying to design to remove the needs of support or putting the support on areas where it won't be visible. Then for these rows, if I want to make the job easier, the best thing to do is, you see, I have this part. Let me remove the support. And you see this red color saying, oh, if you print like that, you will have some problems because you don't have enough support to give some strength. Anyway, let me go back on a more regular size. Okay, let's go to 80 millimeters. Okay, yes, I can try to print to avoid the support. It means that, you see, for this part here, if I want to avoid support, I need to have some part which is connecting to this one. Okay, the problem is, for this design, I have the petal of the rose which going down. And I have no way to avoid the support, except doing a trick by modeling something just behind to do kind of transition. But you always need some support on some areas. And anyway, you need to have some support to make the model growing, because you need to have this base that you just see on the model. Let me wait a little bit. Okay, you need to have this part connected to the build plate of the printer anyway. Then you need to have this support. And this support have also another need, is that each time you are printing each layer, as soon as the printing is done of each layer, you need to unstick them from the silicone layer, which is at the bottom of the resin tank. This is a specific process. And each time a layer needs to be removed for the Form 1 Plus, the resin tank is moving down with a kind of angle or tilting like that, and then moving up, and the build platform is just just moving up from the thickness of each layer. Let's say if you print in 100 microns, then as soon as the build platform is moving up, the build platform is moving up from 100 microns. Then you will have between the bottom of the resin tank and its silicone layer and the previous layer, you will have 100 micron resolution with just a little bit of resin, which will be solidified by the laser. It's a little bit complicated for me to explain that in English, but you need to consider this kind of thing. And this peeling process, which is vertically with a tilting system on the Form 1 Plus and horizontally in the Form 2, it's making your model moving slightly. You have some strength, especially on big models, and the support need to be strong enough to keep your model in position without moving at all. Then you need to have support anywhere. Then the tricky part is to know what you need to do in your design to avoid the support on area where it will be tricky to remove them, or just they will leave some mark, like you remember this model that I showed you that in previous streams of the head. I have a lot of spots everywhere coming from the support because I print this part in just one shape. And you see, you have a lot of overhangs for all the hairs at least. And it needs to start from the build platform and starting to grow. Then the trick for that is to build the head by itself alone, the front part of the hair separately, the back part of the hairs separately as well, and then finding an orientation. Just imagine for the back part of the hairs, if you're putting them that way, you will have a lot of hairs going up, and then the support will be more inside for this part. Then easy to sand and to clean after, and not having all the supports everywhere. And these kind of things, I will show you that, of course, more in details later. It's a lot of knowledge, in fact, and a lot of failure. You are learning that the hard way. That's why doing all these kind of things is very, very important. And again, also, I will use my clip curve just to do something like that, just to trim, you see, everything. Okay. and to have a flattened area, then I can't do anything about this part for the support. I have no way, except perhaps doing some angle, or what I can do if I really want to avoid a support on this area, and I won't do it, but it's just to, you see, doing something like that on the back. Let me update my Dynamesh. You see, to try to have some transition and avoiding having something which is just floating in the air, but I will need support anyway for this kind of things. I have no other ways. Okay. I had a question also. Sorry, I need to look at the chat about the thickness of this pillar for this support. Yes, you can change not the thickness of the pillar itself, but the touch point of the support, which can be between 0.2 millimeters up to 1.5 millimeters. Then depending of what you want to do, but of course the thinner they are, the less strength they will have during the pinning process. Then you need to be very, very careful. Let me check what you said in the side, the support. But you see, this is really switching from digital, I mean, just in the, yes, not real world to the real world, which is very, I mean, when we are doing 3D, we don't care about that. Okay. Just one thing, if you want to try, but not the 3D printing process, but seeing this support, you can download this Preform software from Formlabs. If this is a free software, you can download it from the formlabs.com, and this is a great way to see what is all this process of support, etc., etc. Yeah. It's easier that people can think. As soon as you start to print for the first time, you will understand a lot of things. But the main problem I see is that a lot of people, first they started the 3D printing process with FDM printers, which are way different from SLA printer. Then the support system is totally different, and also the ZBrush model has a lot of details, and people don't understand the need of splitting the model as much as possible for multiple reasons, and one of them is the support, to find the location of the supports. But I will try to explain everything later, I hope, as much as possible in details. Yeah, let me just... Okay, I will do it for now, like that. Let me just copy my subtool. Okay, I go back to my body and I will paste it. Let me just go below that one. I can paste. I have my rows. Let's do it on the right side to do my mirror and weld. And I will need to work again on this part later, because I will need to see about the connection between both parts to connect them with the surface. Okay, let me try to put it in the middle. Okay, like that. And now let's do a mirror and weld. Okay. Now we need to save this project. Should be a good idea. Save as 37 if I'm not wrong. To glue the part, you have multiple ways. You can use a resin and a UV laser to glue. This is a way when you have a way to access the liquid resin to glue it. You have the super glue, which is working fine. A little bit brittle, but it's working fine. This is the two way I'm using to glue things. Yes, of course. FDM printer, of course, are better than any Form 2 that is broken. I totally agree on that. To be honest, 3D printed SPI, not so different to my. I think you are wrong. Sorry, FDM printer can be just as good as SLA printer if you take the time. There are other printers that the Form 1 or Form 2s are way overpriced. Yes, of course. But for the FDM printer, I'm sorry. Perhaps I miss some printer, but I never been able to see some printer which is as good, can be close, but not as good as a Form 1. I have an example. Sorry, this part is broken. You see this model? I don't know if you're able to do the focus on it, which is an FRTT model. The details are very sharp, to be honest. It's very small, very thin. And I print that, this is ABS, and I print that with my Ultimaker printer. This is 40 microns layer for the thickness, and the nozzle is 0.25 millimeters. And this is very thin, which technically is very close to the specification of what you can do with the Form 1 Plus or the Form 2. But what you have in terms of details, in terms of quality of the roughness or more the smoothness of the surface, you are not as good. And even the Form 2, not the Form 1, but the Form 2 at 100 microns with the gray V3 resin at 100 microns is better than that one. And for this one, yes, you need to print very slowly. It will take something like 4 times than the Form 2 to print. And my Ultimaker is not so cheap compared to the Form 2. And another problem is you can't see that on the model, but for the ears behind, you have some overhang support. Then as soon for the FDM, you print without any overhang, then with no really needs of support, it's okay. But as soon as you start to have some negative angle like that, you never have clean surfaces like you can have with a SLA printer. Then my Ultimaker 2 Plus extended with the 250 microns nozzle, which is the smallest one anyway. Okay, then for now I will just finish a little bit with the shoes because it's already late. Okay, I will just do some small changes. I didn't explain that because I did a small change in between a stream. I changed this part. It was on the other side. If you're looking about, you see, these are inverted. I wanted to do the same way, but it was too problematic, to be honest. Then I changed that to be more on the normal way. Let's say. Oops, I have some thickness issues for the body. On that one, I'm still in symmetry, yeah. Yeah, I just want to do some minor changes for the shoes. Because again, it will be totally symmetrical and I want to have a better line on this area, sculpting more this part, adding this kind of bottom part, which is a little bit different. And 3D SPI, I don't want to start, I didn't look at the chat yet, but I don't want to start a war again, which one is better than that one or thing like that. But to be honest, it's a reality that FDM printers, you have very good one, very, I mean, I'm very happy with my Ultimaker. Like I said, when I did this test print, like this one, I did, where's the other one? You see, for both of them, this is the Ultimaker, this is the Form 1 at this stage. There is just one huge benefit for FDM printers, the size. I mean, I have no way to print just one shape like this with the Form 2 or perhaps Form 3. I have no idea. It's just one shape. And the quality is very good for what it is. And it's just 100 microns with the 0.4 millimeters nozzle. And it's good, really good. And if you want to see something at a good distance, it's perfect. But you see a big difference for the arms. They are connected to the hips, not here. Why? Because for that, if I want to same position, it will be just a nightmare for the support. Then just for the support management, SLA is way better than FDM, by far. At least from my point of view. Yeah, I have a lot of things. But you see, this is an example about a very good print. It's not from me. This is a Japanese artist who did that with ZBrush. This is fully articulated. You see? It's just a crazy job. This guy has been top road on the Japanese ZBrush Central. We have a ZBrushCentral.jp, which is Japanese ZBrush Central. This artist is just doing crazy things. You see? And the quality is just awesome. And this is an FDM printer. This is just ABS. This is a Polish printer. Forgot the name. This is a big brand. I forgot the name. And surface details are very good. Now, to be honest, this is very, very good. But again, this is a large size. If you want to print something at that size, just half of the size, there is no way. But this is very good. Again, I don't say that SLA is always better than just a matter of price. The kilogram of material, there is no comparison. This is something like 30 euros. It's 170 euros for a liter of resin. Then you see there is pro and cons for the 3D printer. Anyway. Yeah, we can start a fight if you want 3D printed a spy. There are things I don't agree with you, to be honest. But well, this is totally off topic. Yeah. I think I will need to do a kind of session just on 3D printing and printers, which is a little bit off topic. Yeah. There's some need to Zremesh or topologize the arms. I'm wondering why you would need to come out of the Dynamesh mode. Again, if I'm doing subdivision levels, I mean, Zremesh out of a retopology is to have subdivision levels, because as soon as I want to deform my shapes, I have way more control to go up and down as much as I need. While Zremesher is just raw polygons. After, it's a matter of workflow. Okay. Let me change all of that as much as possible. Yeah, because I really want to start to do the pose for the next session. I guess next Sunday will be the pose and all the refinement around the pose, and starting to sculpt some part. And for that one, what I will do is, I don't know why it did some shape like that. Again, I'm trying to fit to the design as much as possible. Okay. Why? Ah. Sorry, I was ready to say some bad word in French. Yeah, sometimes I'm very annoyed with topology brush. Okay, that way. This one, why it's not connecting, why it should connect. Okay. Okay, and my thickness, let's start with something like that. And splitting unmasked points, as usual, nothing new for that. Where is my split unmasked point? Here. For this one and this one, I will apply my dynamic subdivision. We need to work on the angles, I mean the corners, which are weird. But for that, again, if I want to have a nice result, the idea is to work not with the dynamic subdivision, but real subdivision levels. And if I want to keep the angle here as much as possible, what I need to do is to add some crease edges. Then with the ZModeler, I can crease edge like that. And you see now if I'm smoothing my model, I'm still keeping these edges that way. Same for the other side. And I have like that my angles. Then I will just using regular subdivision levels. Now I did Ctrl D and not Shift D, and I can refine to be close to this part. I think I talk a lot during this stream and not really sculpting as I wanted. I'm sorry for that. Now what I will do for the shoes is, again, I will now divide my model. And I will do a split, a line all around, like before. Or what I could do is, yeah, let me Control Z, like that, and come on, save the project. I think I'm lacking some stuff. Okay. For this line all around, I will just model it. It will be easier than with the... I can insert my edges, multiple edges, and doing an interactive elevation. You see, you can go inside if you want, and increasing or decreasing. You see, like that. And now, if I subdivide, you see you have this mark all around. Very quickly. Then I have my split done. Then I can move a little bit my shape. Okay. What I will do as well is I will still in the ZModeler, taking these polygons. Okay, only pick this one. And now I will Q-mesh these polygons a little bit. Doing the same for this one. I hope they're on the same position. Yeah, not really, but well, not a big deal. I'm not in perspective, in orthogonal mode. Oh, not good. Let me rotate that a little bit. And being on the same position, roughly. Because I have no idea if I will be on the same position. Let me I'm trying to put everything at the same level. That way, and for that one, okay. What I will do is, since I want to have something which is sharper, I can again, like before, inserting some edge loop. See, that way. I don't want that. Where is my edge loop? Yeah, you see, the problem is I have some triangle and it doesn't like that. Where is my bevel? No, I think I will stick with that for now. Okay, and let me finish with this part. Oh, I wanted to do a split as well on that one. I will scale down. I will do the same as before. Small interactive edge loop. Inserts, multiple edge loops. Okay, that way. Like that, I have my splits in between. And what I don't want to have is to keep the crease edges, which are very sharp, and it doesn't look natural. And I think I will do some stitching on the model after. Just to give more credibility. Then for the crease edges, like I said, I don't know if you remember, but I told you that in one of the if you go to the crease section, you have the crease levels here. If you remove it, let's say to 2. Now, when you are subdividing, then I need to del higher, and you see now I'm losing the crease at some level. Then I can refine, and it will give something which will be a little bit smoother. And it looks a little bit nicer like that. Okay, I have the shoes now. And if you want to do some stitching, you can use the brushes, which are available in ZBrush for that. Then in Lightbox, you should have some brushes. Stitch, 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 stitch. Stitch. Let's try this one. Okay. Yeah. Do we have some other pattern in the alpha palette? Yes, more that one. Someone with a higher contrast. These are the same. I like this dual stitching one. Ah, this is texture, sorry. Texture, make alpha. Where is my make alpha? Make alpha. Yeah, I'm not sure. Texture. Make alpha. Yeah, I just need to now take care about the mid value because it's too high. Then alpha, let me move that. Modify mid value should be something like around gray. Yeah, better. Alpha, contrast, perhaps increasing the contrast. Okay. See, we can do something like that. The only thing which is very important is having enough polygons. The problem is, you see, when I did that, I don't have square polygons, then I will have some variations in terms of density. And again, I will increase the intensity to have bigger contrast. because again, if I'm printing at this size, I need to see something for my stitching. And in fact, my stitching, my concern is it's not thick enough. It's just too I think this one should be better. Sorry for making you waiting for that, but I prefer finding the good one. Make alpha, texture off. Yeah, this one is better. I just need to change the settings. Then this made value to 50, increasing the contrast a little bit. Yeah, you see? And it will go really inside. This is something which is really nice. I guess the intensity is a bit too strong. You see? That's why I need to take care about the thickness of my model. You see, I'm really going inside, and I will need to be very careful after for that. Then I need to change the good size. Okay, then let me just increase again. Yes, it should be correct. 6. Okay, fine. It may not be perfect, but let's try. Oh, let's store a morph target first. Morph target, where is my morph target? Store morph target. And my size at 7, let's switch to 6. Why do I store a morph target? Is because if later I want to change the transition, you see it's keeping a constant. And that, it won't be perfect, to be honest. But it should be fine enough for what I will do. You see, then you set that size. Let me just do a render. Yeah, good. Then why did I do a morph target is now if I'm taking my morph brush, I'm able to revert. You see, I have this this small stretch, which is fine. I mean, it won't be visible for the printer then. Not at this resolution, but I can clean to revert to what was the original shape. And more important is, you see, if I want to clean on this part, I'm not using the smooth brush, it's really the, you see. And now I'm using the smooth brush if I want. Yeah, I think smooth would be enough for that, in fact. And now I'm ready to use my move brush just to making this part being just out. this part will be printed anyway in just a single part, and it's not a big deal if I have some overlaps. Okay. Then you can do the same thing for, let's say, below. You can still use a brush, which is my stitch brush, where it is, stitch. You see that way. Because this part will be visible from below, then you can add this kind of small details. I mean, it costs nothing to add that. Whoops. I think I have some crease edges. Nope. Why do I have these angles? It shouldn't be that way. Let me remove my subdivision levels. Then higher, increase all. Yeah, it's better. And I will increase my brush size and reducing the Z intensity a bit more. 5 million for the shoes should be enough. Why it's like that? Yeah, unfortunately I'm lacking of some polygons. And I will need to trick a little bit for the flat parts to give some angle. Using the H polish brush. And now let's take the stitch brush. I don't remember what was the size. Ah, too bad. Okay, should be okay. Okay, I broke. Oops, why do we have two parts here? What's going on? What is... Ah, this is a character. Okay, I see now. This part won't be visible anyway. Okay, I think I will stop for now. for today. Now, next time, I just need to do one thing. Perhaps I will do it offline, but I need to do the fingers, the nails on the fingers, which need some polish. But except that, I think next time will be the pose. I will sculpt the hairs also. I did that quickly for the print, but I need to redo them. And I think it will be more interesting. I think I have 2 sessions for the pose and refining a lot of details, and then after it will be the pods and small accessories, and then after it will be, I guess I have 3 sessions for the sculpting roughly, and after it will be all the preparation for the 3D printing, which will be funny. So far, let me just divide all of that. So far, let me look at the questions. Okay, not that much in them. Yeah, I will refine a little bit the shoes, I guess. This is the kind of thing I need to refine. I still think that the shoes are a little bit too small. I mean, it looks weird, to be honest. I know that the pose makes the shoes. Yeah, for me it should arrive at this location. I know that girls doesn't have so big feet, but it looks, yeah, kind of weird. I will do some experimentation on that. Yes, I will use Transpose Master for the posing. That's why I'm using a lot of subtools and things like that. Oh, one thing I will do offline will be to name all my subtools. It will be also easier. For the artist, for that one, I will. I don't remember the name exactly. I have his Twitter account, and you can follow. Oops, one of the arms just fall. This is a great artist. He did a presentation at our booth at Wonder Festival a year ago. Yes, he was a mangaka assistant, also two times. And this mangaka is using ZBrush to do the mecha. Not the mangaka, but the assistant is using the ZBrush for the mecha. Do we have the manga here? Let me just check. Yes, I have it. You see, remains this manga. Okay, this is the assistant who did the robots, and let me see, that's what I have. You see all the armors. I don't know if you see that, but all the armors have been done with ZBrush by this artist, and then of course they are reusing that multiple times. Then for the manga, which is now over, you have also the monsters. You see, like that. It's very interesting. Sorry, this is slightly off topic. Anyway, then thank you very much for being with me for this long. Yes, Doug, I need to refine the shoes. It's look off for me since the beginning. I don't like the result for the shoes. I really need to spend a little bit of time on fixing at least the proportions on that. Then. Thank you very much for being with me again for this stream. Sorry it hasn't been as productive as I was expecting. A lot of talk about 3D printing. Anyway, this is the goal of this stream, since we will do multiple 3D print stuff. The next stream will be next week, as usual on Sunday. I think later today will be Shane Olson, if I'm not wrong. Yes, Shane Olson, as usual. Tonight, PST time, sorry. Again, if you still want to learn ZBrush more in details, knowing better the software, nothing's better than watching all these artists at ZBrushLIVE, and there are a lot with us for this kind of streams. You also have the Z Classroom, which is a great way to learn ZBrush. Z Classroom at pixologic.com or YouTube channel. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me. Then see you next week. Bye bye.